Per usual, everyone on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. It's Wednesday, altcoin day, not really much different or meaningful week over week, but we'll take a look. That's what you got to do. Just got to be disciplined about it, have a viewpoint, stick to it. The good thing with alts, you don't need to be early. I'll say that again. You don't need to be early. You can get the 80% in the middle because the returns are so outsized insane. Should we get anything remotely resembling an alt season? So here's dominance. Still has a head and shoulders. Still hasn't broken down. Still hasn't negated itself. It is in bearish no man's land here. Why or how this would actually play out, again, I'll say this every week until it does or doesn't make sense to me why this would play out as a head and shoulders, considering BTC has institutional inflows on the ETF side and no alt has that, but we may see different things happening with stablecoins, etc. Who knows? I'm not here to guess. But currently, dominance is poised for a head and shoulders. Inverted dominance, which is total 2 over BTC, is poised for an inverted head and shoulders. None of these are actionable currently, and so I do nothing. I choose to do nothing broadly in alts until that is changing or changed. It's real simple. Everything, every time, always, forever, until the end of time, above the cloud, bullish TK cross is what I want, which is why, for all the people asking me about hype, I don't care. Let it go to infinity. It's going to go without me until it's above the cloud. I care about this exact setup in March, April, May, June, July, whatever. That's when I like to trade anything. So I don't really care about what's going on here. Yes, it's got listings. Yes, it's got HIP 75 million trillion. I just don't care. Doesn't matter to me. My system's not going to pick up on that. You could argue there's some sort of edge-to-edge trade on hype, but it's just not for me. It doesn't really make sense to me to trade alts individually versus as a group. You want to be there when there's strength in the sector broadly. I think it's hard to outperform legacy right now because there's so many things that are working. So many things. You don't have to guess, Total 2 USD. Also, I don't see anything here actionable yet. This could morph into an inverted head and shoulders with an edge to edge. Totally possible. I like alerts at 1.24 trillion. Another alert at 128. And that's where the actionability is for me. Nothing to do here. Let it die, let it go sideways, or let it go through the cloud. But nothing to do here for me. It's also a problem that stables are pulling back. This is USDC and USDT. Subtle pullback on Tether, more of a pullback on USDC. This is probably pending Genius Act stuff, which isn't happening probably anytime super soon. Oh, by the way, there's also a government shutdown coming, most likely. All the more reason probably to just wait. ETH BTC also, if you want to think of it as the leader of the alts, nothing to do. In the cloud, sideways, maybe into, the dream is to give yourself a clean setup and a clean trade. I don't care about being right. I don't care about picking a coin in a tribe. That doesn't matter to me. If for whatever reason, any point this year, ETH BTC gives me a reason to be long, I will be long. But on the weekly, not quite there yet. And what's funny to me, if we look at coin, total 2, WGMI, which is the mining ETF, ETH, IWM, which is zombie companies, and total 3, one of these sticks out. One of these is a clear outperformer, and then the rest of them are, as you'd expect. You've got IWM up here. Zombie caps over zombie coins is what I'm saying. And then you've got WGMI, which collectively the mining industry, air quotes, because it's not really mining anymore, it's more AI HPC, that looks ready to just shoot extremely higher. And then you've got alts, right? So why bother? What are you doing trading alts when there's nothing to do here? There's just nothing to do. I don't even care if you caught hype at the bottom. Good for you. Who cares, right? On balance, you're not going to catch hype on the bottom. Most of the time, most people, right? But if you did, congrats. Anyway, just nothing to do on a relative basis to stuff that's just easier to trade. And I also think, should alts start to move, MSTR might be a better play. MSTU, MSTX, right? You want to add leverage, you want to add options to that, whatever. Also not there yet, but I'm still watching. So unless there's a clean and clear setup, it really doesn't make sense to me. We'll go to Kraken for the rest of this. BTC just sort of doing a bunch of nothing. Maybe this morphs into an inverted head and shoulders. Maybe, right? I don't know. Maybe you get this edge to edge, similar to Total 2. Way too early to say one way or the other. Any new lows, and that's not good. Then you've got the bear flag people coming out of the woodwork saying, I told you so. I would love to see this go from 90 to 103. Great trade. Great trade. But here today, as we sit, I don't really see anything on BTC. ETH is basically the same chart, except 3K to 3,700. Just as messy on anything here. No action for me. Sol, similar chart, similar vibe, potential, air quotes, italics, sarcasm, potential, something here with an inverted head and shoulders resembling a bottom. Has to get back into the cloud on the daily close, has to have a bullish TK cross, has none of that. You're talking 132 to 176 would be that trade. Has not triggered, not even close. And then we have the rest of this list, which just looks pretty depressing, to be honest. Ripple, I got nothing here, although you could argue on most of these charts, you've got something that resembles something, right? Some sort of inverted head and shoulders potentially, but just nothing there. Lots of people chirping at me about the Zcash edge-to-edge move. You know, if we want to talk edge-to-edge moves, I want like a 50% move. I want a 25% move. Whatever this is, I don't know. Maybe it is 25%. I don't know. This isn't for me. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. Do I care about a 10-year pattern that's breaking up? Yeah, you know, that was Monero, and it just didn't continue. So it is what it is. But also no action there. SWI daily, nothing. No action. Just chopping around below the cloud. ADA also has this. IMHO, set alerts, do something else with your life. Trade literally anything else. Yes, all these could play out. It could be butterflies, rainbows, and everything you'd ever want. But it is too early for that. And I don't think it pays to be early. So again, you've got this potential trade on ADA. Not there today. Litecoin, tragic. Link, new lows, not for me. Tron in the cloud, Tau. Now we can really speed it up, right? We've really hit most of what the charts are going to look like. Render, I got nothing here, although you could argue again, some sort of mega inverted head and shoulders in the making. Set alerts here, move on with your life. There's just nothing. It's nothing to do today. Stellar, same deal. SNX, huge edge to edge. Maybe that's worth an alert, huh? Only because it shot up and then went all the way down. But here today, nothing. Probably nothing next week either, and probably nothing the week after that. AVAX, kind of an inverted head and shoulders, edge-to-edge potential, but nothing today. Aave, nothing. Algo, nothing. EDE, coming up. Ondo, definitely nothing. FET, EDE, ENA, nope. And I think you get the point. There's just nothing to do. You might be able to find 1 or 2 or 3 odd coins that have a pulse like hype, but collectively, just nothing there. Memes don't look any better. Doge, no. Pepe. Pengu still has that characteristic of a potential inverted head and shoulders. I like alerts here. We'll leave that be for now. Whiff, no. Bonk, Shiv, no. So nothing there for me. On the BTC side, Sol BTC again, you could argue something to watch today, here, now? No. ETH BTC also just chopping around. Nope. Nope. Ripple, Pax G, Gold BTC looks phenomenal. How's that look on the weekly? There was a, yeah, that's real bad. If we're getting a weekly breakout on the cloud with gold against BTC and everything's bullish TK cross, bullish breakout, bullish cloud coming up, that is not good for BTC. So hopefully that cancels itself out. The rest of these just as tragic. So look, I wish I could come here every week, have a ton of setups, but that's what the legacy videos are for. There's just nothing here. There's really nothing here for a trend guy like me. Until BTC can pull itself up by its bootstraps a little bit, there are some edge-to-edge trades to watch for, but in the moment, I got nothing. That's all I got for this one. Give me a like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.